Hey, what's up, friends? My name is Kevin Davis. Welcome back to a new episode of Kevirsyle Network. I am an author, comic creator, entrepreneur, a go-giver, a person that gets yelled at for not sleeping. But anywho, that's a whole other story. Today, I'm here with a great friend of mine, my brother Jorge Medina. Welcome to the show, my guy. What's up, man?
What's going on, Kev? How you doing, man? Thank you for having me on.
Man, I'm living.
You're living. You're living.
Yes, sir, man. You've been busy too. I've
Yeah.
seen you was at New York Comic Con. You was at a different con that I keep forgetting names because there's like a billion of them now. Man, how is life going for you, my brother? Because
Um,
Jesus.
you know, I we so behind the scenes as a writer, we're always working, right?
Oh
We're
yeah.
always working. We're always doing some kind of creating. But because we're writers, most people won't see our work for a while because we're sending it out to an artist, and the artist then has to do
Mhm.
their thing, and then they send us the pages. So while it seems like I'm currently busy, I've been busy for a while. Now you're just seeing what I'm actually been working on come out, come out live, and that's what I'm doing right now. So like I obviously have my Kickstarter that's live right now, but I'm also releasing Wonder Duck, The Adventures of Wonder Duck, as single issues. They're going to stores right now. Their issue one is in stores now. Issue two will be in stores November 12th. So I'm working on that. So like,
Heck
there's just a
yeah.
bunch of things that I've been putting out I've been working on that are being put out now to the public, so everybody's seeing it now.
Man, I know that feeling because I'm a writer too, and yeah, it's such a crazy process we go through. Man, I've always wanted to ask you this. I was on your show like a while ago,
Yeah, yeah,
but now you're on my turf, so I get to ask you. Uh, like, what's like your backstory into storytelling? Like, what made you get into it? Like, did you like grow up being inspired, like watching TV shows, movies, or whatever? Like, what got you into it? Want to do
yeah.
it?
Exactly that, man. It was I was a huge fan of cartoons and and things like that. But I think what really got me inspired into like creating stories and being creative was okay. So I was born in Ecuador. I grew up in
Hmm.
Ecuador. I was born there. I came here when I was 7. But before I was 7, obviously I was living there with my grandmother, and I had a few aunts, and two of them were art teachers, and they were very creative. So they instilled that creative, like little the creative juices were in me,
Huh.
um, and so they really inspired me to start creating things. And so
Hmm.
I started actually reading comic strips. It wasn't necessarily comic books because in Ecuador at that time there were no comics. I didn't know what comics were, but they were comic strips and cartoons, obviously. And it's funny, man. I'm an old dude, man. I was born in '77. So, and Ecuador, because they were behind the times in a sense because of I
Hmm.
mean, they didn't get the stuff that they got in the States. So I was watching a lot of
Yeah.
'70s manga. So '70s manga was big in Ecuador in the '80s, and
Hmm.
I was watching a cartoon called Mazinger, or Mazinga, I think is what they know is known here.
Okay.
And that I love that show, dude. I was like, wow, this is so cool. It was about a big, robot who, it was such a cool story. And I was like, wow, I want to do that. Like that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. I found that stuff so cool. So it motivated me to create my own stories because even though I knew about, and obviously when I came to the States, then I knew about Marvel, I knew about Disney, I knew about all these things, but I never wanted to work for them. I always wanted to create my own stuff. I always wanted
Hmm.
to create my own characters, my own things, and do my own stories. And part of it might have been because I didn't know that I didn't think I was good enough to work for them anyway. So if
Yeah.
you can't beat them, they say if you can't beat them, join them. No, if you
Jordan.
can't
Yeah.
join them, try to beat them in a sense. So try to compete against them. So do something else. So that was kind of like how I got into it.
Man, that's freaking amazing. Man, yeah, I kind of the same way because growing
Yeah,
up, I'm a Disney kid, I'm a Nickelodeon kid,
yeah, no doubt.
um, I'm a Sonic kid, I'm a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Yeah,
kid.
yeah, oh yeah, dude, oh yeah.
um, Heck, I even watched the old school Spider-Man as a kid.
Hmm.
Transformers, so many
Yeah.
different things that I got into.
Yep.
Oh snap! Here come pops.
Yeah.
um, and I didn't grow up reading comics at all because I
Yeah.
didn't know they were even a medium.
Hmm.
Like like I tell everybody, I knew Marvel and DC
Yeah.
from like the animations, the TV shows, the movies, but I never knew they were other things before then.
Right.
And I didn't find out about comics for myself until 2020. when
Oh, right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I remember.
when COVID
That's
happened.
that's around the time we met, right? Like 2021, maybe.
Actually, yeah, it has been
Right.
that long. Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's been that
Yeah.
long. Yeah,
Yes. It's been a while, man. It's been
man,
a while.
time has flown, my guy.
Yes,
Jesus.
sir. Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, we met like 2021, 2022 era, I
Yeah.
think.
Around that time, yeah, you had just started. Like, it was around the pandemic thing. I feel like a lot of people, because of what was going on at the time, a lot of people felt like now's the time. Like, if I'm gonna do anything with my creativity, with my work, now's the time to
Mm,
do it because there was nothing else to do, really.
agreed. Agreed.
So he's telling me to turn down the speakers a little bit. Let me know if that helps. Is that too low?
I'm like, I can hear you.
I think it's good. Maybe
Like,
I'm screaming into this thing.
technology is a weird thing. But yeah, we met around like after, kind of like during after COVID a little bit. So I'm like, I didn't realize it's been that freaking long at all. Like,
it's been
wow.
it's been a while.
Um, and like I got Pop says you're good. Yeah, Pop.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. And like I found out about indie comics from like Black Sense Entertainment, Ace Blade, Dark Horse, Image, Dynamite, Boom Studios, and I was like, okay, where the crap is this coming from? Did these all companies just start now, or am I just late to the party? It turns out I'm a bit late to the party. But I really fell in love reading comics from reading. I fell in love reading comics by reading independent comics. I didn't buy the physical comics of Marvel and DC. I read the digital version of those, but I buy the physical indie comics.
Yeah. So,
And
which indie comics were you buying? Like, what were the ones that you were reading?
I started out with Ace Blade from Danny Crick,
Oh, okay.
and I bought some Hellboy, Black Sands Entertainment, Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I found some Sonic comics.
Shoot, man, that's awesome. That is
um,
awesome.
and then I started exploring and then learning about comic shops, especially around my city. And but I'm legit around the corner from my comic shop that I didn't
Oh,
even know
cool.
that existed. And I really just got it's like getting my imagination going. And it's like, how did they do this? Like, how the heck does they bring this to life? Because this is
Yeah.
freaking amazing storytelling. I was like, I'm tired of Hollywood with all these rehashes and everything. I was like, I want to create my own story. I want to bring back some creativity. I want to bring back some original.
Yep.
And then I found you, or you found me, or we found, I don't know how that worked out.
I don't know how that happened either, dude. It's so
we,
funny.
we just ended up
Yeah.
meeting. Yo, what's up, Comic Crusaders?
What up, Al?
Thanks, Pops. We're going to bring that up in a second. um, and I took a good 3 years to study the craft of comic creating. And I'm like, 'cause I wasn't finna jump into something I don't know what the heck I want to do or how to do it or how the heck to bring it to life. Because I might be Kevin, but I'm not Kevin Feige. I'm actually quality over quantity. Oh,
well, well, that's the thing. I think people have this misconception that creating comics is easy. It's just comics,
it's
but
not easy.
there's a lot that goes into the process of creating them,
Oh yeah.
and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that a lot of people don't see. They see the
Mhm.
finished product and they see this book and they open it up. Wow, okay, cool, but they don't know about you know things like figuring out how to write a script. You know, big son.
I see all.
Uh, so there are a lot of things that people don't. they don't really know that goes on other
Oh
than
yeah.
what they see on the page.
Oh
The
yeah.
back and forth with the artist, finding an artist. Maybe that artist didn't work out,
Hmm.
or you couldn't, maybe we couldn't afford that artist. It got
Right.
expensive to make these things. Like there's so many things that go into it. We were talking about before we got on. We were talking about at the editors, right? Finding a
Hmm.
good editor, somebody that can, kind of like help you, get this thing to where you want it to get without it being confusing or being,
Exactly.
completely wrong. So yeah, it's a lot.
Exactly.
It's a lot that goes into it.
Oh yeah, and that's why I kind of like reached out to like people that actually in the industry before I joined, like asking how they
Yeah,
the advice to give to me and like the wisdom how to get into the comic book industry.
yeah,
And I thought about I originally was going to like hire a comic writer myself and like to write my story, but then I got to the point I was like, nah, I need to write it myself. Because I don't I won't say I'm a control freak, but I have an imagination
yeah.
that I need to do myself because I'm not sure if somebody could actually write it out how I want to write it.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I
that
was
makes
like,
sense.
I'm like, no disrespect to them, like props to them, but I just have a way that I want to do it, and I don't want to like spend money on something I might not like.
Yeah, no,
Or so I kind of, so I studied how scripts supposed to go, and then I met Pops, and then that worked, and me this amazing indie crew community, and I'm still going. And making comics is one of the best things I've ever done in my life, and I'm going to continue doing it.
yeah.
And speaking of comics, you have a new comic out.
Yes.
I I try to promote it as a plug-in, guys. George got a new book out. It's like every pun intended.
There's so many
Uh,
ways to go with it. Like it just lends itself to all these things. It's funny.
let me go ahead and bring up the Kickstarter right quick so we can get to it. Here we are, guys.
There it is.
Can tell us a little bit about your story. What, or how did you come up with it? And why should we back it?
So I was so I was actually sitting in this car. Back in It's funny, oddly enough, back in 2021, it was February 2021, and I drive for work. I do a lot of driving for work, and I was sitting, I was parked, and I saw this guy right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. This guy right here, this plug. This is what inspired the whole thing. You know what I mean? And
Now
this
it
is
makes sense.
and
Now it
for, and
makes
for I
sense.
mean, you obviously this is one of the random, just plug for your iPhone.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I was like, wow, that would make an interesting, like, kind of like character, like the head of a character, if you just painted like some eyes
Hmm.
and a nose and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking, well, but what would it's a plug, so what would it be about? And I toyed with the idea of it being from a like a world of plugs, like where they were just these these moving plugs, a family of plugs. And I was like, nah, that doesn't really work. But the whole idea was that what the plugs do, they plug in, they fit into things, right?
Hmm.
They fit into things. Well, what if
Hmm.
this plug didn't fit into anything? And that was the original story. Like, that was like the original
Hmm.
thought. Like, what if this plug, who's supposed to fit into everything, doesn't fit into something?
Right.
And then I thought about my story, and I thought about, I mentioned I was a kid from Ecuador, whatever. And I remember being a kid and not fitting in 100% because
Hmm.
I was different in the sense that I had just come from a different country and I didn't speak the language. So I didn't fit
Hmm.
in right off the bat. But beyond the language, I just think that we all, at some point in our lives, don't fit into situations. Whether it's a new job, whether it's a new school, for even if you speak the language, when you're a kid and you go into a new school, we
Hmm.
always either have problems fitting in, want to fit in, some don't care about fitting in, but that fitting in, the idea of fitting into a space, just stayed with me. So
Hmm.
that's when I created the shameless plug. I was like, what if this plug isn't a plug that doesn't fit in? What if it does fit in? It's the kid that he's friends with, or that the kid creates in his imagination to cope with the problem he's having. What if that's the shameless plug? And so that's where the story
Huh.
kind of came out, and then it developed into this thing where it's a, I call it a buddy comedy between a boy and his imagination. And what the boy creates is this imaginary friend named Pana, who's going to teach him that sometimes to fit in, all you have to do is just be who you are, be yourself. And that's
Wow.
what the shameless plug is.
Man, I absolutely love that, and I love the message that you're giving into the story about just
Thanks,
being
man.
yourself, just be yourself simply. And that's literally how I kind of like go about my stories. It's like especially like everyone knows I'm a mental health advocate. Everyone
Yeah,
knows that. So I try to like anytime I'm trying to write a story, I want to make sure a lot of my characters can be relatable to somebody, even if it's just like touches one person. At least I make somebody day. And and I really love how you make this a shameless plug, and you kind of put yourself into the story. Is what I've heard. What is what basically what you're saying, because you put
yeah,
yourself into your story, and I feel like that's what really connects your audience. If you just put yourself into the story, so they can see themselves in your story, and that's how I kind of like try to bring it to my creativity. And like it's like it's okay if you don't. If I'm like it's okay if you feel this way because I felt this way, but this is how I overcame it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And and
I
the
think,
shameless plug is I can't wait to freaking read this book. Actually,
man.
you actually gave me the opportunity to get a sneak peek of it, and I didn't get to read the whole thing because we had the show. But just from like the first part of it, I got to read. I was hooked in.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Um, Such a beautiful story, and I think this is definitely a story we all honestly need, like to escape the world for a minute and just have fun. And is this going to be like a series or like
No, no.
what's or it's like a one shot or
So the Kickstarter that's live right now,
mm,
this is the first chapter of the book. So I'm using
okay.
Kickstarter to help me, in a sense, pun intended, kickstart the graphic novel. The graphic novel is
Oh, okay.
140 pages, and
Oh, okay. Oh, good. It's like it's connection went out, guys. 1 second. I agree. Comic Crusaders. George is a beast and is a beast with an idea. I gotta wait for him to come back in. And while we wait, I'm gonna just show off this Kickstarter some more of the same as plug. There he is. There you are.
I don't know what happened. Actually, I do know what happened. I'm on my cell phone and I got a phone call, and whenever I get a phone call, it
Ah,
kicks me out. It's
yeah,
annoying.
that'll do it. That'll do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, can you can hear me? You
So,
can hear me okay?
yeah, okay, okay. Where is
Yeah, yeah,
campaign? The campaign should be in the notes
yeah.
in the
In the
YouTube
notes,
channel.
in the chat, right? I think it's in the
Yeah,
chat.
it should be
Um,
in the chat somewhere. Pops just posted it actually.
yeah, 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 yeah. But you had your question was about like
Here it
how
is.
did I yeah, there it is. So basically, it's a 140-page graphic novel, and
Okay.
so the this Kickstarter is for the first chapter. So you're getting the first 40 pages, which introduce you to the world, the characters, the kind of like the heart of the
Oh,
story. So you're getting that in these first 40 pages. And then next spring is when I should have everything completed by then. And that's when you can that's then it's gonna just be a graphic novel, which I'm not gonna do another Kickstarter for. This is the Kickstarter for the first chapter to help me, create the rest of the story. The story's gonna be finished because I'm already 90 pages in, so I'm paying out of pocket for it. It's gonna get done. Like the first 40 pages are done. As a matter of fact, this
no.
is the book here.
Oh snap!
So
Hold up. Wait a minute.
so the book is done. This is
Oh,
the entire book is completed. It's done. It's completely done.
yeah.
So,
Oh, beautiful.
this is actually the virgin cover of the book. This is the by done by Chris Mad, incredible artist. Chris Mad, Shauna Mad, they collaborated to create this. So there's going to
Chris
be
man is
two.
a beast,
He's an animal. He's great. He's great. And then
man.
this is his other the other cover, and then
Woo!
this is the cover A in a sense. So the book is done.
Okay.
It's finished. Like it's not like, oh, what, well, am I gonna, is this gonna, am I gonna get anything for it? Yeah, you are. It's done. Um, but the graphic novel is what I'm working on. So it's gonna be this one chapter, then and
Man.
then we go right into the story. So that's how I set that up. But I just wanted to touch on what you were saying, like how I
Mhm,
introduce yourself. A lot of people say, write what you know, right? Write
mhm,
what you know. And I agree with that. Well, I agree with that. I also think that there's a thing about not just writing what you know, but write about the experiences that you have. Because I think
mhm,
that that's what people can relate to. Like, so if you,
mhm,
for example, you write about going to Italy,
mhm,
right? That's an experience you had. You're not Italian, but you went to Italy.
mhm,
That's something that I can relate to because, hey, I've been to Italy too. I went to visit that. I saw that. So I think that we relate to experiences because we all have different stories. Everybody has their own story to tell, but we relate as human beings, we relate to what we experience within those stories and within our lives. So that's what I
mhm,
kind of want to do with this story is, yeah, I mean, I'm incorporating myself into it, but that's why the idea was to talk about the experience of, you know, being part of something, fitting into something, being an
mhm,
outcast, things like that, things that we experience. When you look at Shakespeare, for example, right?
mhm,
Amazing writer, right? But what does he write about? He writes a love story like Romeo and Juliet. How
mhm,
many people have experienced that where like your parents or somebody just doesn't approve of your relationship? That's something that just happens. It just happens. It's an experience that most people have. You don't
oh
have
yeah.
to be that age. You don't have to be those people to have that. So I
Mhm,
think that that's the importance of like storytelling and why we write stories, especially when we're writing stories about including ourselves into it. It's the experience that we
mhm.
have.
Oh yeah. And I really love that too because I didn't even think about the perspective that you said right from your experience. I've always been like taught write what you know and like write from your heart. And you explain and say right from your experience. It kind of expands the idea of like right from your heart, meaning right from your experience.
Yeah.
And now I think about it, I have been writing from my experience since you mentioned it. When I'm thinking about going back in my writing, I kind of write from my pain from growing up.
Hmm.
That's why I write a lot
Hmm.
of horror and like a lot of slashers,
Right. Right.
monsters,
Yeah.
because I was a kid growing up in a house full of women. I was a confused person, man. Like I didn't have like no full time father figure in my life. So I was going through like so many anger issues, so many depression, anxiety.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Hmm.
had those suicidal thoughts. I did,
Right. Yeah.
and so I I was that's why I kind of gravitated towards horror because my mind was very dark, and I gravitated towards it,
Yeah.
and that became my strong suit. But then I kind of, as I grew up, I kind of got that balance between horror and a bit of fantasy, seeing there is a light side to everything.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so when I'm writing my stories, I put my pain into it, and I didn't even think about it until now that I really do. I do add my pain to it
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
whenever,
something you experienced, and I
oh
think
yeah,
that that's what people can relate to, right? Because we all feel some kind of pain.
hmm
It may not be as drastic as what you're talking about because we all have our own experience, or they may
hmm
be, and so you're reaching people who be like, oh my God, I went through the same exact thing. I can
hmm
relate to that. I understand that. I know that. That's what I know. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So I think it's important to not just write what you know, but write about your experiences, write about what you go through, and be honest about it. Don't be afraid. I think. Oh, damn, I'm a mess today. Um, I think that we get afraid sometimes to be authentic or to be real about it
yeah,
because we don't want to scare somebody or we don't want people judging us about man, I shouldn't have wrote that. That's then people I'm exposing myself too much.
hmm
And but as a writer, I think you have to be brave, man. As a writer, you're exposing yourself to people, and
oh
that's you
yeah,
just got to be comfortable being uncomfortable in a sense.
oh yeah, because that was stuff I go to like so many drafts a day on a story,
Mm,
and like there are sometimes I'm in a draft, I'm like, okay, I kind of went a bit too dark, but then I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna keep it. And I was like, because somebody might actually see something that I don't see. So you
right.
never really know what could happen. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
and then I sometimes I get like that's where my arc fire story comes in because my lead character through arc fire. is based on me because he
Hmm.
has no memory of who he is. He's trying to figure out where he's from,
Beautiful.
what is this power in him,
Yeah.
and I say that's based on me because one, I didn't know what my purpose is on this earth. I didn't know what the heck to do. I was a nonchalant kid, and and then I didn't figure out that I had these gifts of writing in me until like high school when my teacher said, "Dude, like kid, you have that gift. We're just going to push you higher to that professional level." I was
Right.
like, "Sure, okay." I, I brushed it off. Then I'm like, I was a nonchalant kid, so I'm like, "Sure,
Yeah.
okay."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then come senior year, they said your writing has improved so much. I was like, "Are you serious right now?" It's like, "Are you sure?" And then my mother is as a writer, my sister is a writer. I was like, I come from a writing business family
Yeah.
practically,
Hmm.
and I fell in love with my mom's novel, her murder mystery. That's also what got me into horror because like slashers. I'm like, what I wanted to write too, and like because I love a good mystery and twist, and just like just sinks your teeth into, and I just wanted to like I want to challenge myself. I was like, can
Yeah.
I do this? Should I do this? Do I
Right.
want
Right.
to do this? So all these questions in my head. I was so terrified. I was like, I don't know if if anyone would even be interested in doing even reading what I'm writing. Then I was like, you know what? I never know what the future holds if I don't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 For sure.
And and when I brought out my first Arcfire and reading the comments on Arcfire, I was shocked by all the positive comments that I got, and people saying, "When's the next one?" And it's like, I was like, "Y'all want more of this? Like, really?"
That's like the best
I was
feeling,
like,
right? When
"Wow,
people actually want to read your stuff and they're looking
yeah,
for the rest of it. It's amazing, dude. Yeah.
oh yeah."
Yeah.
And now my Arcfire issue 2 is out now. I'm getting the final pages in so I can get it printed, and I'm trying to make and as I'm writing Arcfire, I'm trying to make it a bit more grounded, and it's going to get that horror element, but it's going to be a mixture of horror, science fiction, action, thriller, and fantasy because I'm
That's
introducing
awesome.
vampires, I'm introducing witches, different type of demon creatures. Um, hey, what's up, Neil? Bro, it's on the fire. Yeah, bro, it's on the fire. He's one of his friends.
Yo, I'm thinking to myself right now, I'm like, this light must be bugging the heck out of you guys. I almost want to
Man,
go off camera for you guys. I'm like, damn, like right now, really,
man.
son? Um,
I was like,
oh,
even the
that's
sun is
cool.
plugging in. Every pun intended, by the way. Um, um, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, about Arcfire. As I'm going through my Arcfire series, I have like 15, maybe 20 issues in my head that I'm thinking of. Like I know, like I already have the ending in mind, but I'm like, how do I get there? It's the challenging part,
Yeah, yeah,
and I'm having fun like to figure out, okay, which direction do I want to go to get to this. I said, but also which direction will be the most unpredictable.
yeah,
So I always ask myself when I'm writing, I'm like, okay, how could I make this make sense, but also twist it to make it crazy in a way that's entertaining and also make you question what the hell's going on. And I love ending on cliffhangers because I
right,
learned
right.
cliffhangers always hooks you in and like if you piss somebody off and say what's happening, you're doing your job right.
Well, especially when you're doing an ongoing series, like when you're doing something
uh
that's serialized, right? Like
yeah.
you have to almost kind of like hook them in a way, where
Oh
they're gonna
yeah.
come back and read the next issue. So I totally get that. And the funny thing is, so this book, this particular comic that, the shameless plug,
Mhm,
the Kickstarter is for the first chapter, and that
mhm,
was a challenge for me as far as like, okay, where do I leave it off for you? Because it's not serialized. It's essentially 140 pages straight
mhm,
through. So the story takes place. So it was like the challenge was, okay, where do I cut it off so that it
mhm,
does leave you in a place where, okay, I want to read more of this without giving you too much, and without just going like, 50 pages in, 60 pages in, or
Mhm.
whatever it is. So I ended up in a nice 40-page spot. So it's 40 pages is what the book is. So that's where I ended, and that's kind of like where the first act ends. I wrote this. Most people write like a 3-act structure. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I've written this in like a 5-act structure, so it's 5 acts.
Hmm.
So the first 40 pages ends in the first act of the thing, where it gives you all of the background information, all of the stuff that you're gonna need before you move forward to the story.
Wow. And how long have you been working on this? Like, I was gonna say play since you said acts. I was like, how long have you been working on the Shameless Plug?
So the idea, I came up with it back in like 2021, right?
Mhm.
But again, just making sure that the story made sense. It took a while, man. Like I think the scripting process, and if you guys follow me on social media, I've
Mhm.
been posting about the next graphic novel for a while, and this
Mhm.
was what the next graphic novel was. It was this. So from 2021 to about 2023, 24, like those 3 years, I was
Mhm.
kind of like developing it. I was kind of like figuring out the story. Is this what I want to say? And then I think it was maybe like the middle of 2023. I reached out to L.A. Cunningham. For those
Hmm.
who know, she's with she's part of ASAP Imagination, amazing, amazing publisher.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, and I reached out to her to see if she would be my editor for it. She said yes, and I'm very thankful that she did, because she went in and she really helped me kind of like make sure that I was going in the right direction. She didn't tell
Hmm.
me to change things or you should write it this way. None of that. She didn't say any of that. She was just like, "Hey, is this what you meant, or is this what are we doing?" And so the questions that she asked helped me kind of like clarify the story. But again, it's a process, right? So it was a
Mhm.
process of about 3 years of writing the story. And then I do this. I always say this, people say write for you. And I agree with that, write for you. And we
Heck
should do
yeah.
that. The first draft, second draft, whatever, it should always be for us. But the minute you have that thought of I'm putting it out to the public, then you
Mhm.
got to shift that. And you got to think about, okay, how is this going to be how can I market this
Mhm.
to the public? Because I want to sell it. So
Yeah.
I'm no longer writing for me at that point. Now I'm trying to market this thing and say, okay, what's how am I going to market this? Now, that's not to say, yeah, just be completely phony and follow a gimmick, and no, tell the story you want to tell. My
Mhm.
thing for me is make sure that it makes sense, and make sure that you are putting in the work to make sure that it makes sense. That's where you get the editor. That's where you get, an artist that's going to complement the artwork that you're putting out and things like that, because you do
Mhm.
want to sell this thing. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that this gets out into the hands of people so that they
Heck
can
yeah.
all so we can share our stories, our story with them. Well, that might work for you guys. Um, about that too, especially with a lot. You are what is that?
A lot of us are producing on a micro level.
Right, right, right. So we get lost in our story.
Mhm.
We're so in the woods. We're so in, we can't see the forest from the trees, right? So we need
Mhm.
somebody to kind of pull us out of there and say, "Hey, listen, I'm not understanding this here," but we
Mhm.
do, because it's in here. We know what we're talking about.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
But yeah, so again, I'm sorry, this is like the long-winded answer. So yes,
No, you're good.
this thing was in development for a while, but because I wanted to make sure that it was all making sense. And the funny thing is, I I recommend this. Write a first script. I don't care what you write, even if it's trash, write it, put it on paper, refine it afterwards, start making it better as you go along. But don't think you're gonna get perfection in that first draft. You're not Faulkner.
Mhm.
At least I don't know any Faulkners. You know what I'm saying? But like,
Mhm.
I think that you should definitely just put it on paper, even if it's crap. Put it on paper, and then figure out what you want to do with it. Because that's what happened with this. I put it on paper, and then I figured out, okay, wow, this isn't a 3-act structure. It's not working that way. This is actually
Mhm.
going to be more than that. It's going to be a 5-act structure. This is great. But I didn't know that until I wrote it down. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I went after this 5-act structure thing. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shoot, this is working out this way. It works for the story this way. I can tell
Mhm.
the story better if I do it this way. Because what you're
Right.
seeing in this first chapter, like I said, it's just an introduction to the world, the characters, and kind of like the premise and what's going to happen. But the rest of the story is told in those other four acts, I should say. You're going to
Mhm.
see it develops that way. to the very end, which I can't wait for you guys to read. I can't wait. And if you had another question, Kev, but I do have an announcement. But go ahead, you do your thing. Let me just grab what I wanted to grab here.
Oh, I was just gonna shout out this merchandise right here on your campaign. That's like, I was like, you got Wonder Duck shirt. Oh, wait, is that an action figure?
No, 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 no. That's
Oh,
I wish. I wish
I
that
thought
was
that was
that's a
actually
trading. That's a
trading card.
trading card.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
okay,
a trading card.
man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
And
this one here is everything that I've produced basically. So Rust 5377, which is a graphic novel, it's 144 pages, and then the Wonder Duck story, which is two 88-page kind of short stories, or not short stories, trades. So you get
oh,
two trades, 88 pages each, and then the T-shirt. There's a print, and there's that trading card plus all of the covers and a print. So you get all of that for that amount.
okay, can you tell me a little bit about the Wonder Duck story and is it Rush or Rouge?
Russ. So
Rust. I've
Russ was the
always been
very
curious ever since I saw the covers of it. I've been dying to actually for a while. I was like,
yeah.
okay, what is this story about? Because you have me interested, and I really
All
want
right.
to know, like, how, like, what's the backstory of this? Because this, I've never seen an interesting duck before.
So the
So,
Russ story is okay. So imagine your favorite memories as a child were erased. Like from the time you're 5 years old and before, maybe not that we have many that we remember now anyway, but imagine that you don't remember who your mom is, your dad is, your sister, your brother, your best memories, the most fun times that you had the first time at an amusement park, whatever. You don't remember any of those things, right? I can hook you
uh,
with an action figure producer. Oh, okay, okay.
networking.
Um, at its best right here. Thank you so much. So imagine all of that has happened, right? So
Okay.
that's what's happened to Russ. So the story of Russ is about this kid who forgets, or his memory has been erased. The first 5 years of his life are gone. He wakes up.
Oh,
He wakes up in the story. He's about 17 years old. Wakes up in an
okay.
orphanage. He doesn't know who his parents are, any of that. The
Oh
orphanage,
man.
though, it's really a lab where they're trying to create the perfect specimen.
Oh
And he
crap.
started to remember things through dreams that he's not supposed to remember. And when he starts figuring this stuff out, him and his friends, two buddies, decide, yo, we got to get the heck out of here. And that's kind of like where the story takes off. So
Oh,
that's what the story of Russ is. And the reason I came up with it was because, again, writing experiences, writing what you know.
yeah.
Back in 1999, I
Okay.
was working at an orphanage. I was doing data entry work. I'm not a social worker. I'm a data
Okay.
entry worker.
Okay.
And I came and I used to put the names of the kids that were coming into the orphanage into the system. And a name came up. The name was Nonami. And I was like, well, that's a cool name, Nonami. It was
Mhm.
no name. The kid had no name. They didn't know who he was. So I was like, ooh, what if there was a story about a kid who didn't know where he came from, who he was, what he's doing there. And then I twisted it, gave it that sci-fi twist. What if it's a lab, where they're trying to create these
Yep. I think got another phone call. Oh crap. 1 second, guys. I think got another phone call. There we go.
I'm popular today. I never get phone calls at this time. Never get phone calls at this time. Right now, everybody wants to call me at this time. Um,
Oh
so
man.
that's Russ. That's the story of Russ. Yeah, sorry. Um, and then Wonder Duck. Wonder Duck is the story of a duck named Duke Dolbeek. Okay, he's an out of
Okay.
work actor, and Pops is gonna love this. I've changed a little bit, Pops. Um, so he's an out of work actor, contemplating what to do next with his life, when all of a sudden a super battle suit from outer space smacks him in the back of the head and transforms him into a hero called Wonder Duck. And the
Ah.
story takes place. The adventure starts from there. And, part of the first adventure is figuring out who the creator of the suit was and why he created it and how much trouble he is in for creating it. So
Mm.
that's the first arc of the story, and that's the adventures of Wonder Duck as it starts. So that's kind of like my world. That's my crazy world. They don't necessarily combine together yet,
Ah. Okay.
uh,
Oh yet.
but
Oh, teaser.
not
Teaser,
yet,
guys.
not yet. Yeah. So stay tuned for the rest of the shameless plug, because you'll see some of that. But and I know you guys have another show coming up after this. But I wanted to tell everybody who pledges to the campaign. First of all, everybody who pledges to the campaign while this show is going on, you're gonna get a free print. free print comes to you if you guys pledge to the
Oh
campaign right
wow.
now to a physical tier. I'm adding a print into the mix for you guys. And what I'll do is I'll share that print with you, Kevin. We can post it later on
Okay.
because I don't have it with me. I'm in my car. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is we've unlocked two stretch goals, and for everybody who's
Let's
doing
go.
who's actually pledged to the campaign again to the physical level. Oh,
I
what
thought you
happened to
finished
me?
shows. That was me.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought you.
I'm right
Yeah.
here. I'm right here.
Yeah.
So we got the trading card. This is a trading card. Again, I'm using
Oh,
the
nice.
artwork by Chris Mad and Shauna Mad. So that is the
Heck
trading
yeah.
card. It's ready to go. So for those who have pledged to it, do that. And then also what I'm doing is every 10 backers. So right now I think we're at 76. If we can get to 80 by Tuesday, I'm gonna spin the wheel on our podcast, and the wheel is basically gonna give you one of these. This is what I call the golden cap bottle. It's a cap bottle. Get your meds is a play on my last name. So every ten backers, we spin the wheel. If you win, or if your number gets pulled on, we put one of
Yeah.
these inside of your package. What that's gonna do is this. You know Willy Wonka and all that. I used to love that. I love scavenger hunts. I love all that stuff. So
Oh heck yeah.
next year, spring of 2026, I will be doing a bunch of conventions. I always go to conventions, whether it's to walk around or if I'm behind a table, doesn't matter. I'm going to be posting where I'm going to be next year on my website. So go to getyourmeds.com. If you find me at one of these conventions and you have one of these in your package, tap me on the shoulder, say, George, I got one of these, and I'm going to give you the graphic novel, the completed graphic novel of the Shameless Plug for free. That's going to be for you for free. I'm not charging you for it. You know, you don't have to buy it. That's what you
Wow.
get for pledging to the campaign and getting one of these in the thing. So tell your friends because every 10 backers, we're unlocking one of these bad boys. So we've unlocked already about seven, no, six of them. So we're trying to unlock the seventh, maybe the eighth this weekend. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Man. Well, oh, was that your official announcement that you was mentioning earlier?
Yes, that
Okay.
is what I'm announcing. I'm
All right.
announcing to your
Good.
peoples.
Man, can we get a shout out for your team of of your book
Yes,
right
of
here?
course.
Like,
These are the incredible, talented individuals that have helped me put this thing together. The gentleman with the glasses on my right is Joseph Valesco. He is the hero of this story. He is the man who has been able to, take what I wrote, make sense of that thing, and give you the pages that he's given me. They're beautiful. He's done amazing work. So big shout out to Joseph Valesco, who also has worked with me on the Adventures of Wonder Dog. He's also the artist there. So when you find a
oh,
good artist, man, you
nice.
try to
Heck
hold on
yeah.
to him. Yeah, yeah. He's
Oh
the
yeah.
man. He's the man. So Joseph Valesco, big shout out to him. Um, that young lady right the next name, that's L.A. Cunningham. She is the editor of the book. Big shout out to her. She also has a comic book called Sister Grimm. So you guys might want to check that out. I've put the links to everybody in the campaign. So if you guys want to hit those links and check them out, definitely check them out. These are incredible, incredible people that I work with here. Joe Holly is the gentleman down there with the hat. He actually perfected the look of the Shameless Plug. So I
Hmm.
sketched it out
Mhm.
and then I sent it to him and said, "Hey Joe, can you clean this thing up?" So he did, and he ended up. So what you see now is his version of what I drew. He
Mm.
made him a little taller. I
Yo.
shrunk him down, and I made him a little smaller, a little cute. But he is the man behind that. And Victor Claudia, who's right next to him, he's the gentleman who colored that first image of Pana, the Shameless Plug. So I want to give him a shout out. Right next to him is C. Michael Lanning. Big
Mhm.
shout out to him, incredible artist. He did a lot of the character designs. So what I do is I draw them, I sketch them out in my messed up sketches, and then I send them out to an artist. And C. Michael did an amazing job making sense of what I drew so that I can
Uh,
send it to Joseph and he can kind of create what he had to do. So I mean, there's been a lot of people involved in this thing, and I appreciate every single one of them. And then obviously there's
Chris
Chris
Mack,
and there's Shauna down there.
dude.
They were the artist and colorist of what you see here, which is the this piece of the Shameless
Wow.
Plug. So yeah, that's the team, man. That's the team. I've been fortunate
Man.
to work with some really really cool people, man.
And we got more perks, more for
Yeah,
stretch
this is
goals.
these are the stretch goals. So we unlocked the sticker. That's unlocked. We unlocked
Okay.
the trading card. That's unlocked. We are on our way, and I think we're about $700, 796 away from unlocking the third one, which is a
A
secret
secret
page.
page.
It's a
Oh,
secret page
mystery.
within the book. Yes, it's a secret page.
Ah,
The secret page, this stretch goal will come with a video explaining why it's a secret page. So it will have a QR code. It will have the page. You guys will get the page, and you guys will see why this page is a secret page. So that's what's coming up. And then 4K, 5K, if we get there, that'd be great. I have to figure out what we're doing. I have ideas for what we're doing for
okay.
the 4K and 5K. One of them includes unlocking the next chapter of the book. So chapter two may be unlocked in one of these two. So, if we can
Wow.
get there, stay tuned for that. So we may be doing that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. And then like every other campaign, like we do, we do add-ons. So if you see something in a tier that maybe you're like, damn, I also want that. There are add-ons. So if you scroll through it, you'll see some of the add-ons that I have. I have additional copies of the book if you want them and things like that.
Oh,
This
wow.
is, yeah, this is a
Wow.
piece. This is a piece that my friend Sam Vera did of the Shameless Plug. And I'm giving this away
Wow.
to anybody who's pledged to both mine and his campaign. So if you pledge to both campaigns, you will receive this print also. So check it out. The link is down there
Man.
below. Yeah. And then my one of my favorite tiers, and the reason why it's my favorite tier is
Uh,
because I
oh, wait.
linked up with
Look
I
at the
linked up
tears.
with yeah, I linked up with the library, with my local library here where I live,
Oh, snap.
and
Okay.
I'm donating books to the library. So there's a tier there. It's called the Pay It
Yo.
Forward Plus tier. And the reason why it's called the Pay It Forward Plus tier is because when you pledge to this tier, you're going to get originally you were only going to get two copies of the
There it
book,
is. I
like
got it right here.
the two versions. You're getting
Uh,
all three copies. You're getting all three covers of the book if you pledge to this,
yo.
and five books go to the library. So five books go to the library, three books go to you. I'm not charging shipping. I'll cover the shipping for you guys, but you guys are getting all three covers plus five books are going to the library. So that's the Pay It Forward Plus tier, and that's happening. That's going on from now until Tuesday, the 28th. So you want to take advantage of that from now until Tuesday. After that, it goes away, and then it goes back to the you only get two versions of the cover or whatever. So
Wow, man. This is absolutely beautiful.
thanks,
Man,
man.
let's get to them stretch goals because you're funded, but we still got some time on it.
Yeah, we still have time.
I
Yeah,
say
we still
still
have
got
time. I mean,
time on it. Let's get to them stretch
pa-
goals. 13 days left,
yeah,
guys.
absolutely, absolutely. Part of
Man,
the reason for the stretch goals is again is to make sure that you know not only do we keep funding the campaign, but we keep adding fun stuff for you guys to get and things like that. So yeah, yeah. I mean,
heck yeah, dude.
you've done campaigns. You know what it is to be on Kickstarter. It's a grind. It's
Oh yeah,
this. We're doing shows and so it's what you call it. It's a grind. It is a
it's a,
grind. I can't
it's
even
a
find other words
hassle.
for it.
It's a hassle. It's hustle, hustle and a half. That's a hustle. It's definitely hustle. And I know you said if those that want to use Kickstarter, they can order directly from your website, right?
You can. If you're not familiar with Kickstarter or you're not, I don't really do Kickstarter, you can pre-order the book on my website. You just don't get the perks. You don't get all the
Uh,
alternate covers. You get the cover A. That's what you will get, and you will get the book, and that's being shipped out as soon as the campaign ends. Like I
mm,
said, the book is ready to rock and roll. It's just a matter of sending it to the printer. Once I get it back from the printer, it's going straight to you guys. So I'm thinking maybe delivery for this thing would be December, the latest
mm.
at the latest maybe January. I doubt it'll go that long, but yeah,
Anything can happen. So,
yeah,
like,
anything
and
can happen.
you showed the prints earlier. So, can you show it again? So, just in case nobody
Yeah,
saw it.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So this is the book. Let me cover it up.
uh,
This is one of the covers. This is the virgin cover of the book. Again, the book is complete. Oh, this is the back of it. The book is complete. All of it is done. It's 40 pages of in full color. That's one cover. This is the other cover, and then this is cover A. So you have
beautiful,
three covers to choose from. So yeah, that's it.
man. We're coming to the top of the time. Oh darn. We could talk we could talk a whole day about this. But before we go, can you tell us where we can find you about your updates, like what social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're on, we can find you and keep you keep update on you.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can always go to my website, get your meds with a Z, getyourmeds.com. Pops loves that website. And you can also find me on Instagram at you do get underscore your underscore meds. Or you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter. I don't do TikTok, but you can definitely find my website will give you all that information.
Heck yeah,
And
and
pledge to the campaign if you haven't done so. And for those who have
yes,
already
yes,
pledged, thank you so much for all 76 of you guys.
76,
I really
76.
appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support. I can't wait to deliver this to you guys, and I hope you love it and enjoy it. Kev, let me know what you think. And yeah, man, that's it. That's all I got.
Man, one, thank you for coming on,
Thank you, sir.
and man, this book is amazing from the parts I saw. I'm going to back it. I'm getting that physical. I want it in my hand. Um, and my name is Kevin Davis. You can find me on Instagram at I am Kevin Davis official. Also my I was Kevirsyle Network on Instagram as well. My website at kevirsyle.com and Facebook at I am Kevin Davis CEO. And we will see you next time on the Kevirsyle Network at the Madness Entertainment Group.
Peace.
Peace.
If you missed the live viewing of any Madness Entertainment Group production, you can find all our content on Roku or as a member of this channel. We'll see you next time on the Madness Entertainment Group.